Okay. Good morning, everybody. How's it going? It's Thursday, and it's sunny. It's gonna be warmer today, about 24 degrees. How you doing, Darnell? And of course, it's nice to be like warm weather. Got a lot of rain yesterday, that's for sure. Plenty of rain, actually. Not a shortage. Hi, Chris. How you doing? We just about have enough milk, or just about had enough milk for some coffees and some cereal this morning. So we gotta get some more milk tomorrow. So as Kristen knows, I asked her to confirm if we're still gonna go get some milk at Stop and Shop, because the hood milk is actually the best milk that's easily accessible. What are you talking about, Andrew? Looks like the Queen is away to die today. What does that mean? The Queen of England is almost 100 years old. She's had a long career, that's for sure. I'm not particularly surprised. Not surprised at all, actually. Oh, let me get the donate. Let's get the preambles up. The Queen of England has a long reign. After all, remember, she just had her Jubilee. All her kids have flown up to Aberdeenshire. Yeah, so let's get let this link up here. By the way, if you have people in the United States, a lot of Americans do follow the royal family as well. I didn't know about that, but I do know that the palace has, a backup plan for when that does happen. They the Queen of England has a long, long reign. I don't know. I think this queen has ruled almost as longer than Queen Victoria. Holy crap. But then Queen Victoria and Prince Albert had long reigns as well, and were part of the British Empire history that stretched quite a while. Almost 100 years. People don't know that. Why did I make the screen so damn big? Oops. Yeah, that's better. So, even the Muslim Council UK has condolences. It's theoretically possible. It's very likely she already has. But as I said, Queen Elizabeth II has served a very long time since her reign of 1954. She would be almost a centurion herself, just like her husband was pretty much a centurion when he passed on. King Charles and Queen Camilla. Why, you think? Does that mean that they're going to change the phone booths again? I'm not kidding you when they say that, because at the time of King Edward versus Queen Elizabeth, the phone booths had different medallions on the top of the British Bridge phone booths. People don't know this. The phone booth design was originally from the time of King Edward, but he had his own medallion, and then Queen Elizabeth has her own medallion, which later was installed on the phone booths. Right. So I guess King Charles's phone booth will be a big giant cell phone kiosk somewhere. Exactly. It'd be like the ones they have, the kiosks they have now in New York City, where you can basically bring your phone and the charge, and you can still access some of the internet services and stuff. And shoot, she was Queen of England as long as I've been alive. I mean, I was born in 1968. This should say something to you guys. I mean, she became the Queen of England 14 years before I was born. I think there might be some left, but I'm really not in the mood to be that macabre. I don't even want to go there. That could go two ways, and it actually can go more than two ways. I don't really think it's appropriate to do that. But if that is the case, people should be aware that Queen Elizabeth has had a long reign, has served her people with dedication to what she believes and to the Commonwealth. People keep forgetting she's also the Queen of the Commonwealth, which Canada is part of the Commonwealth. Of course, the United States is not part of the Commonwealth, although some wondered why the United States didn't join the Commonwealth. Maybe the United States could still join the Commonwealth. Oh, I don't know anything about what their reign's going to be like. I don't even know very much about him or his wife. Let's see if there's anything on my news sources about it. I'm sure Fox News is going to cover it. Because I know that Donald Trump does respect the Queen, as did his mother, who was Scottish. Doctors give troubling update on Queen Elizabeth's health, family traveling to be by her side. Queen Elizabeth's doctors concerned for Her Majesty's health can recommend medical supervision. Queen Elizabeth's doctors are concerned that Her Majesty's health, Buckingham Palace announced Thursday, adding that they recommended that she stay under medical supervision. The Queen remains comfortable at Balmoral Castle, the palace added. The Queen, who is 96 years old, celebrated her Platinum Jubilee earlier this year. Prince Charles, Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall, and Princess William are said to be traveling to Balmoral Castle to be by her side. Prince Harry and his wife Meghan are also reported to be heading there as well. The whole country will be deeply concerned by the news from Buckingham Palace this lunchtime. Liz Truss, the new Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, wrote on Twitter, "My thoughts and thoughts of people across our United Kingdom are with Her Majesty, the Queen, and her family at this time." Well, Balmoral Castle, where the Queen is currently her country estate in the Scottish Highlands, where she has long said is her favorite place to be. She spends the holiday there every year with her family and has been based here since becoming ill. The health announcement came after Queen Elizabeth II decided to postpone meeting with senior government officials on Wednesday after experiencing a full day of activities the day before. On Tuesday, the Queen spent the day at her summer residence in Scotland, appointing Truss. The 96-year-old Queen oversaw the entire day's worth of activities, including some involving the symbolic transfer of power to Truss. After the big day, the Queen's doctor advised her to take it easy and rest, and the Queen listened. After a full day yesterday, Her Majesty has this afternoon accepted the doctor's advice to rest, the palace said in a statement on Wednesday. This means that the Privy Council meeting that had been due to take place this evening will be rearranged. The Queen has been experiencing episodes of mobility issues and has been walking with a cane since October 2021. In November 2021, the monarch decided against attending a Remembrance Day ceremony because she has suffering from a sprained back. Well, this that important consideration. Anything close to the Queen. So go live stream it and talk to the locals gathered. No, I do not like the monarchy, stand by respect to his person. I think she probably got more than a spring back too. There's another one interesting video. Frack it. UK Prime Minister pivots on a majority of policy as Britain faces energy crisis. UK Prime Minister Liz Truss ended England's ban on fracking Thursday. Also said ended the fracking ban. Thursday, opening door to domestic shale gas production amid a European energy crisis. The return of fracking is just one piece of a larger energy and economy plan. Truss is pursuing her first week since gaining office. Her administration also announced a national freeze on household energy prices, a plan that will cost the government tens of billions. Under Truss's plan, household energy costs will be limited to $22,900 per year. $2,900 per year? Wow. After ballooning to $4,100 in 2022. The UK and other European countries have faced a worsening energy crisis due to heavy dependence on oil and gas imports from Russia. Russian President Vladimir Putin has limited exports to Europe after NATO countries imposed severe economic sanctions on the country for its invasion of Ukraine. The UK originally banned fracking in 2019, but could restart domestic production as early as March 2023. The energy crisis has pushed the UK and several of the European neighbors to reconsider their shutdown of nuclear power plants. Germany made loopholes in its plan to shut down its last plant last week, allowing the two to be reopened if necessary. Belgium, meanwhile, was planning to close 2 reactors by 2025, but will now keep them open through 2036. France is looking to build an additional 14 reactors over the next several decades. Nuclear energy, the UK, Czech Republic, Poland, and others are also planning for entirely new reactors. Nuclear energy is the cleanest and most efficient energy source currently available, though disasters at some plants have caused some to fear the method. The most problematic part of nuclear energy production is the safe disposal of spent fuel rods, which remain highly reactive for hundreds of thousands of years. Okay, well, that's true. But you know what? They have a new type of battery called a nuclear diamond battery, which actually can use spent nuclear waste to still provide electricity for things like pacemakers in your watch, which is a whole new technology. Let's see, Memphis suspects. Let's see, I'm just going here. Email reveals new details about Hunter's dealings with CCP. Oh, whatever. Okay. You guys should have more in touch with her than anyone. It is. Balmoral is near Aberdeen. I think Christy Stan, hope you guys are all well. Frackers. You dirty frackers. Look, I'm a variation of the line from Planet of the Apes. You dirty apes. You dirty frackers. Michelle Marie, I'm sure dozens of quarts of fresh baby blood were being helicoptered to Scotland to keep the lizard queen alive, but alas, the Grim Reaper will prevail. Well, I wish she'd hurry up with Biden. Okay. Hey, Grim Reaper, when are you going for Biden? Yeah, we have an appointment. I can't do it today. No, maybe I can do it next weekend. Jeez. Andrew says, and I do not mean YouTube. Well, if you're working there, you must be keeping people safe. Yeah. The thing is, oh yes, for Americans, people who heat with heating oil, this winter, they say they could see heating oil at $5 plus a gallon this winter. $5+ a gallon for heating oil. Holy shit. Price of natural gas in the United States is 1/7 of that of Europe right now. 1/7 of the price. But the truth of the matter is that nobody this winter is going to be exactly enjoying their winter season, especially because so many people like to enjoy the warmth of their central heating. They're going to be kind of cold and clammy because they're afraid to turn the thermostat up to the normal winter warmth that they like to crank it up to. What color cat do you have? What does your cat look like, Andrew? What color is the kitty? Is it a tiger cat, a calico cat? Is it brown, black, gray? What kind of color does she look like? We need a windfall taxes because this is going to get really bad. My gas bill is strangely high. She's a black furred cat. No, he said his cat's black. My cat's the ginger cat. Or she's a ginger cat. She's got black fur. Alright, let's get some people on the panel. Yeah, man, it's kind of strange day. I hate when my mouse trackpad says this. Why you have to be so stubborn today? Must get some oils or something in my ball. Yeah, that's what it is. That's better. Whoa! Let's see what people are watching here. 11. Alright, so. Hi, Debs. How you doing? Okay. Let's see. Andrew's got you. Good morning. How you doing? Let me get the chat on the screen so you can see it.
Yeah, I can see it.
How's it going today?
Yeah, pretty good. As I say, every news channel has now got this thing about the Queen. She's about to die and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, the Queen's been around for a long time. She has a very long career. She has served the people for a very, very long time, since 1954. She has She's been, she's seen a lot.
I think it was 52 she was coronated.
I think some people could think she was
large.
immortal. But the sad truth is, nobody's immortal yet. Although I'm sure science will come to that point where we can start making people immortal and live forever.
That's maybe not a good thing.
The only thing is, if we do that, there's going to be one very valid question. What's going to happen when all of a sudden the world can't even afford to feed them all? Oh, come on.
Yeah, and if you're immortal, then you'll be okay.
Why is my trackball acting so sluggish today? Oh, come on.
So how's your morning been so far, Michelle?
Things are okay. There you go. Trackball
you got a
trackball is lazy today. Yes. All right. All right. She's just sitting or skinning. I don't know what that means, but I know you're playing Michelle, but
like,
can I have
a lot of people
back?
think that elves are like aliens and stuff like that, and they drink green stuff. All this like.
All right, trolling. We don't really need as many mods as we had. We really don't. When you start getting to 125 people in the live stream, I'm talking about 120 currently active people, then we'll see if we'll give them back some wrenches. So right now, there isn't anybody to need to have all these mods.
Yeah, I think what you can do, I mean, if you want to get, it's nothing to do with me, obviously, of course, trolling, I've never had any issue with you at all, but if you want to get, like, moderation, whatever you call it, encourage your friends, encourage people on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever we're going to call it, tell them about Michelle's channel, and that way it helps. I've done it.
Yeah, and we need to continue to grow this channel. I mean, we're at 1,249 subs. And
well, it's more than I have, Michelle, and I don't even bother with YouTube anymore, unless it's coming on to look at come on here and stuff like that,
Yeah.
There's as I've said before, I think I said it yesterday as well. There's very few people actually even look at now. I just can't be bothered with YouTube because a lot of it is a minefield of shit.
Yeah. There's certainly a lot of drama on YouTube. Absolutely. Enough to the point where the average person that gets on the YouTube watching the content, especially with the live streams, a lot of the live streams are like super long because they're trying to milk YouTube all the viewership they can get.
Right, exactly.
Whereas I
Yeah,
basically
sorry, Michelle. Let me go.
from the very beginning said if you can't get it done in about 2 hours, then maybe it'd be better to do a video instead. Because most of the time, it's sitting down watching doing a video for 2 hours for somebody is kind of a bit much.
Well, I think the case of mixing things is maybe a good idea. Have the live streams, but also do the recording. You know, and I've done that when I was into it at the time. I'm not into it anymore. I don't care about it anymore. But when you're recording and doing live stuff, and sometimes if you do a lot of recordings, then when you finally go live, people are like flocking to the channel. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, and like I said last night, I did actually plan to record the gameplay, but what happened was I
Mhm.
forgot to hit record button, so no one actually got a chance to watch.
I've been guilty of that.
But then in a way though, it was kind of good anyway
That's
because
true.
I decided it would have been a colossal disaster anyway because I decided to just be hired out as a lorry driver instead of actually bringing my own truck. I decided to drive one of their trucks. And
Yeah.
even though it was a K100 I was driving, it had a modern steering wheel on it. And I got behind the wheels of the sucker, and it was like, oh shit, don't tell me it's one of them kind of steering wheels. I'm sitting there, and it felt
That's
like I was
funny.
back at level 5 again. All of a sudden,
Good
I'm
Yanni.
basically zipping around, swerving all over the roads, like, because I can't figure out where. See, because my steering wheel has like the line on the top.
Well,
Think of the
Michelle, it was probably
Mercedes
a good
Benz
idea that you
symbol.
didn't hit the record button on that one. It was probably good that you didn't hit the record button on that one.
Yeah, it would have been embarrassing. I smashed in the trucks, bam, big. Good thing I didn't turn off. It's good thing I didn't turn off no damage too. Otherwise, that would have been very expensive. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so, but on the other hand, I know that it gets kind of frustrating playing the game when you're trying to. You realize you're using somebody else's truck, and you're like, I mean, I don't
So
really.
I've got Michelle. Sorry to interrupt you. I've got a bus simulator game, and it's just totally frustrating. So it's like I feel your pain to a degree.
Yeah, well, a bus doesn't have a back or a load on it that constantly like you can't even do good. I mean, back up properly into the loading docks because sometimes the load will shift one way and you're trying to go the other way. And even when you get the steering wheel straight, sometimes the load will still hook. Whoop! I'm like, come on, I'm trying to get this out to
Yeah,
the
you gotta
loading
be
dock.
ready to turn. You gotta be prepared.
I mean,
I
I
can.
remember what this one, trucker said, about knowing how to steer when backing up a trailer. I remember what he said about how you need to be clear that it's more like a wheelbarrow analogy. Well, it's kind of funny
Well,
because a wheelbarrow, from my experience of pulling a wheelbarrow, is kind of different. I don't
it is a little
exactly
bit.
like
Yeah, yeah.
because that wheelbarrow doesn't have a single pivot point.
Well,
At least
Dab's
not
saying
like not like that.
when you move, you should drive the U-Haul for a while. So might be an idea.
Yeah. Um. Well, the thing is what I really need for getting practice driving the game. Maybe I need to get access to a closed course driving an actual tractor trailer truck, a K100E, in real life so I can experience what it's like to actually back up the real thing. Because I got a feeling it's probably maybe a little easier. Maybe. I don't know. I would not mind doing it on a closed course if anybody actually has a closed course
That's
in a
funny.
K100E.
Hey,
Go ahead,
Gothic, how you
Paul.
doing, buddy?
That would be great
Hey,
practice
it's
for me.
Paul. It's Paul.
Good day.
How you doing, buddy?
So far, so good. How's it going?
It's going
Yeah,
okay.
not bad. Not bad at all, thanks.
Good, good. Excellent.
We were going
Alright.
through Truck Simulator. I'm sure you'll be enthralled with this information.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. We got the chat up. Good job, Michelle. Michelle's on top of it today.
Let's see. What?
No, Gothic. Absolutely right. Gothic. It definitely is not the same thing. Because I'm thinking, even if I'm out driving, I'm like,
You think
nah, it ain't like a video game. Come on, fucking bastards! Like trying to block you in the streets. You know what I mean?
Well, you see, that's the thing that kind of makes me kind of sad because they're, maybe out there in the Midwest somewhere, there might be. I see a lot of old K100 trucks being restored or repaired and
Yeah, buddy.
driving them on closed courses. I'm like, that would be kind of nice if some guy said, "Hey, you want to sit behind the wheel and drive this for real?" I'll be like, absolutely, let's go for it.
Yeah, Paul. We were also talking about the fact that the Queen of England or the Queen of the UK is away to die today, probably.
Right, she's on death
Is
watch.
she, I'm assuming like she's in some type of hospital.
No, she's at a castle in
Or she's at the
Aberdeen.
castle, but not doing too well.
No,
Yeah.
so all her family, even Harry and what's that woman called? Megan? Yeah, the black one. She's up there as well. So yeah, and all our kids are there. So absolutely, and it's every channel you flick on, it's about the Queen, the Queen, the Queen, the Queen.
Too bad. Yeah, I mean, like she's like 100 years old. I mean, it's to be expected, right?
Exactly. Well, that's what I'm saying.
96,
Like,
actually.
Not like a huge shock. Like, oh my goodness, she just came down with something. No, I mean, yeah. That's
but I
too
think
bad.
when you've got the paedophile prince, and you've got
Lord.
well, you know, Prince Andrew, obviously the one that slept with those girls.
Huh.
Well, the
And
thing to answer your question,
Harry
Gothic, the
and
problem is
the
there
black
is no truck
person.
stops in the area here. That's just it.
Right.
Otherwise, that would be, pretty interesting. When someone say, "Well, why have a Ford F-150 with a mobile home in the back or a utility trailer with that
Sorry, I'm
help?"
laughing what someone Gothic said. Sorry, Michelle.
I mean, sure.
I should be laughing at such a dire time. That did make me laugh.
She must be dying of Harry and Meghan showed up. Well, Meghan and Harry are not going to get anything out of it. You know that,
they're
right?
all there now, so every single one of them. So obviously, she's way to croak it.
I mean, it sounds like she's, like I said, something's obviously gone wrong with her health. We don't know the details.
Yeah, she's old, Michelle. She's just old.
Yeah, she's 96.
She's old. That's all there is. It's just old.
It's too bad that Joe Biden couldn't join her with the Grim Reapers conference. Considering the fact that I hope he goes too.
We can but hope, Michelle, but unfortunately, we're not that lucky.
Is that a death threat against the president, Michelle?
Oh my god!
Yeah.
I'm not saying a word.
So Andrew, I assume like if the queen dies, there's a princess who would take over.
No, what's happening is, Prince Charles, who's in his 70s, he will be the next king. He takes over after she dies.
After the queen passes?
Yeah. And his wife is Camilla. Everyone knows.
Yeah.
And she'll be like, not quite the queen, but she's given a certain title, but basically entitled her to be queen, if that makes sense. But the royals don't really have any. They don't have any legal force nowadays. They used to back in the sort of Middle Ages and stuff like that.
So it's just a title.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. It's a tourist attraction, in my opinion, but
well,
I don't want any ill will.
They still do have some legal power, but it's not as much as it used to be.
Interesting.
Ever since what happened with Henry VIII, and also with the Magna Carta, well, that's pretty much when their power pretty much became less and less powerful than they used to be.
But the good thing is, Michelle, you can get 7 days off, an extra 7 days off, to be in mourning.
Do you still get paid?
I don't know about that, actually.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, then, what a tragedy, right? I mean, oh no, like, oh my goodness, that's terrible. I may need a couple more than 7 days. This is tragic
I
event.
know it should be like 21 at least.
Maybe a whole year. Let's just take the whole the
No,
rest of the year off.
Oh, you're taking it too far.
Oh. I don't know much about the royal family, but I have heard some very creepy things that I don't know if are true or not.
Yep. They've had a lot of things. They've had a lot of things.
Well, what people
That's
don't
for sure.
realize is that the royal family, where is one royal member of the royal family that has an impact in American history, and that's Queen Victoria, believe it or not.
Yeah, isn't that because was she not around still when the UK owned the US?
I want to say she was.
No, she wasn't.
I don't know.
But
all right, okay. See, I'm sorry. I don't know much about history, so I'm just guessing.
No, she came later on. But the thing was, is when the time the United States left the British Empire, it was the time of King George III.
Michelle, you're blowing my mind. I have no idea about these people.
But the thing was, is what Queen Victoria had an impact on was her knowledge, the age, esteem, the upper crust lifestyle, the style of architecture, the Industrial Revolution. She was considered to be the pinnacle of British influence in development of the railway, and
Queen of YouTube. Sorry, Michelle.
And of course, H.G. Wells and other writers were writing at the time she was alive. And the thing is the British Empire still had a lot of influence even then, even in American design. And if you see in houses in the United States, there's age of houses that are still very popular called Victorian. But any house built after 1923 actually is Edwardian. It is not Victorian. So this building here would be a Victorian building, even though it was built in 1911. Any house built after 1923 was under King Edward, and that's Edwardian. Victorian homes are known for the gas lights. Edwardian homes were known for the electric light.
Well, this house was built in the 1970s, as far as I've been told. So obviously it's not Edwardian.
Is everyone in the UK going to sing "Ding Dong, the witch is dead, witch, oh witch, the wicked witch"?
No, but what they will do, Paul, is have
your house would be
your
house would technically would be, if you use that kind of mentality, Elizabethan too.
They're gonna air it over here too.
And any house built after 1954 would be under Queen Elizabeth.
And people talk about the cost of living nowadays. Well, I'm sorry, maybe put her out on a high, like in terms of saying, yeah, I actually contribute the cost of living by not having a big ceremony.
Yeah.
Because we're all suffering. I mean, my gas bill for this month is insane.
How much is your gas bill normally, Andrew?
About, on average, I'm just going to put an average on it, £200.
Oh, wow.
Now, this month, 700.
Ooh. Whoa, that's more like that's almost like a 5-time increase. Oh, a 4-time increase. It's
going to get worse and worse and worse. And now I've said to people, if you do celebrate Christmas, I don't celebrate Christmas because I'm not interested in it. And I think it's a lot of shit. Get your Christmas presents in back in March. I've mentioned that on the channel before as well.
What happened back in March?
No, I'm saying with the cost of living, I don't celebrate. I'm not interested in Christmas. I think it's a lot of shit. I think it's crap. I don't believe. I'm not an atheist anyway. So I don't believe in all that God shit.
It's just for Christians and kids, to be honest.
Exactly, and it's one day of wasting money.
Yeah.
You gotta admit to that.
But I'm sure you guys think differently.
No. You're definitely not alone on that one, Andrew.
I mean, you're talking about gas bill at least is 4 times higher than normal. And it's not even winter yet.
Probably even higher the following month. Yeah.
Yeah.
My electric bill right now is the newest one is like $176. And it's like, yow.
What?
Yes.
Just be grateful you don't have to pay the gas, Michelle. You get free gas. You don't have
Electric.
to worry
No, I
about
don't have to pay for gas. I got an electric hob.
Yeah.
The landlord pays for the heat, so.
Oh, Gianni, no. I'm not that bad, honestly. When it comes to a lot of other things,
I mean,
I'm
last
pretty
month it was
good.
186. I
I
paid that in full, and then I got the newest bill was like 170 something, and it was like still high. And it was like, okay, well, I'll put it in the budget sheet again. But that means they're going to have to take all the YouTube money and send it to my bank as a deposit.
Well, talk to Ed, Michelle. You live with Ed. Talk to him.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
that's on you. Not getting any money from Ed. That's completely on you, Michelle.
I just don't understand that, Michelle, at all. The fact that he does not help you.
Yeah.
And
Yep,
you
Michelle
sort of
still
like
continue to let him use the internet and the Wi-Fi.
And then he
all
goes
this
to me and
shit.
says, "Well, I would like to buy cable TV." What? Yeah, because I'm bored. Fine, you pay for it. I can't afford it. I don't want it, so.
Well, Michelle, what's he going to do if you, for example, took a plan in your name only with a code that you can only use and that he couldn't? What would he do then? Would he take a tantrum or have a tantrum, or would he walk out the door? You know, either way.
All right, I told him.
He's not walking out the door,
I
Andrew. That ain't happening. Yeah,
I told him very nicely. I said,
I'm
Ed,
just trying to.
I don't want to go
Sorry, I'm laughing
halvesies on the
sometimes.
bill. I don't think that's fair. You yourself told me. Well, I don't want to pay any bill that doesn't have my name on it. Well, okay, can you pay for it completely out of your own pocket, dumbass? Because I'm not paying for it.
Yeah, but Michelle, have you actually said that to him properly and actually sat down and said, look, this is what we need to do. If you want to use the facilities here and be here, and it should be 50-50, Michelle. If you're staying in an apartment,
Well, I think the person
flat,
we need to sit down with us, and with me and Ed and Jimmy, because Jimmy was the one who told him heat and electric was included in the rent. See,
yeah,
that's
but
the problem.
Jimmy's not really going to know what's going on behind the scenes, if that makes sense.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, I would just tell Jimmy that you pay the bill. If the rent's included, it's included in the rent, then you pay it, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I would say, Jimmy, then you go ahead and pay the difference in the electric.
Ed is a drain on your personality. Ed is
So,
also
I mean, I would say, Jimmy, straight out, there'll be $80 this month, please. I wonder what Jimmy would say. Because Jimmy rightfully would point out, but my utilities for heating the whole building has gone up. Like, yeah, well, you made the deal with Ed. You said electricity was part of his rent, and guess what? I'm sick of paying it.
Well, don't pay it. Don't pay it.
No, but what you
could actually get away with this for a month. Maybe not forever, but you could actually say, Michelle, you could actually say, I'm not paying it this month. I'm not paying nothing this month. You'll get away with it for a while. Talk to Jimmy and let Ed swear it out and see how he feels when he doesn't have nothing.
Well, here's what I think. As I told Ed this, I said, Ed, it is not feasible for you to get cable television in here. I said, because you yourself have told me that you would like to save up so one day you could try to get in a car or get an apartment. So before you start blowing money on something like luxuries, I'm sorry, but following the NHL is a luxury. Okay? Following, the National Football League is a luxury. Okay? You need to worry about the fact that everybody is having hard times right now with the costs. As much as you may love to have the luxuries, you also realize everything has gone up to the point where it's so expensive that you cannot.
Yeah, believe it. Hey, I'm at the point when I'm considering quitting smoking. I never thought I'd ever say that.
Well, if the price is over there, Andrew, I don't blame you.
Yeah, it's crazy, man, honestly. It's really crazy.
Yeah.
Right now, a pack of cigarettes in Connecticut is like $20 a pack.
No, it's not, Michelle. You're wrong. You're wrong, Michelle. It's not $20 a pack.
Well, when I was over
Anywhere in
there, Michelle, I
America.
was shocked how cheap.
I said
cigarettes
close to
were.
it. I didn't say it was exactly.
No, it's not even close. It's not. It's like $7 for a pack of cigarettes.
Not
There's no
in
way
Connecticut,
anywhere.
it's not. No.
I
I seen regular Marlboro going for $13-14 a pack.
No, yeah, probably for like two packs of them, Michelle. Not just for one.
that's true.
Nowhere in the United States, I think charges like $20. I don't know. I think that's a bit high. I wouldn't pay that.
So then it's a case of going to rolling tobacco, which I hate doing. I hate tobacco. I know a lot of people prefer it because it's cheaper to an extent.
I get it. It's not as good.
Nah, it's not the same. I mean, you'd get the filters and stuff like that. Cause I hate the thought of, I just hate tasting, when you get a bit of tobacco in your mouth and stuff like that, and you can't get rid of it.
Yeah,
and
they
it's-
have tubes with filters you could get. And then there's a
So
machine
anyway,
you
the
could get
point
that
was
just
is
stuffs it
Ed,
full.
yeah.
Ed that night was a little pouty because he didn't get what he wanted out of me. Because I told him straight out, I said, I'm not signing up for that. I said, I'm sorry, I'm not doing it. $80, you're basically making me dig another hole. I'm not going to do it. No, fuck it. you want this baby, you deal with it. 'Cause I'm not dealing with it. I can't afford it on my own. Well, then you don't need it. So there you go. You would have to take money
it's
out of
breaking
something
news now
else.
again, another flight has arrived in Aberdeen with 7 other members of the royal household. So obviously, she's the way to go.
Yeah, and Connecticut does have its high excise taxes too.
I hope the Queen pulls through. She's bringing all this attention to herself. All these people are thinking I just hope she keeps living. And all these people are just like, damn it.
Exactly, we wish. But the worst part of it all? They all talk about the carbon footprint, wasting of, and yet they all take jet planes, like private planes up here, and it's like, take the train,
Mm-hmm. Rules are for thee, but not for me,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another 7 of them up here now. So, because she couldn't go back to London because she's too ill, so she's been up here since July. Because she takes a summer break from July to September, but obviously because of what's going on, they're all coming up to Aberdeen, which is just.
It must be nice having multiple houses.
Yeah, it would be nice. It would be fantastic. But
Oh, it's gonna
unfortunately,
be a
us
real
Scots don't get those.
nightmare, especially if you're like looking for something and go, "Oh shit, where is my extra cameras? Oh, I think you left them in the other house. Oh shit, I gotta go up to the other house just to find the box of cameras in the attic. Jeez." Now, oh yeah. By the way,
But the
your
amount
electric
of
bill and gas
castles
bill
that
will
she
be for the other
owns,
house
I mean,
too.
you could sell a lot of that off, and her jewels, all those people's, these royals that have got all these jewels and diamonds and gold and stuff like that. You could sell that off, distribute it towards the nation. I know it sounds very communist, and I'm not a communist at all, but some people take it too far, i.e. the royals.
Yeah, I mean, how many diamond, owl brooches does one person need?
I think the crown itself is worth like $6 billion or something like that.
They don't even wear it.
Yeah,
it's not a shiny thing to look at.
Mental money.
Okay, so basically, you smoke 2 packs of Marlboro cigarettes a day. That's 40 cigarettes. Okay. And
Marlboro,
there's 30 days in the week.
I don't like Marlboro.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And there's 60 days in a month. So that's $300. That's, oh my God, that's $600 a month in cigarettes.
Yep.
How
the price we pay, Michelle.
can anyone afford that?
Sorry, Paul.
No, you're good.
I've had people at my work, especially one lady that works with me, and she keeps going on about, if you stop smoking, do you realize what you could have on holidays and stuff like that? And I'm like, yeah, I get it, but it's easier for a non-smoker to say that. Once you're a smoker, you don't it's more difficult, you know. I wish I never
Yeah.
started. Don't get me wrong. I wish I never started. You know, it's one of the worst things I ever did. But I did start, so I've just got to lap it up.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter if you smoke or not. Health wise, you could get hit by a bus, and then what would it really matter if you smoke?
Exactly.
Or not, right? You know?
Yeah.
So,
I could walk out. I could walk out the door. Get
It's
hit by a
funny
car
though.
or
Some of the
something.
knickknacks in my trailer include a couple packs of Lucky Strikes and an ashtray because they didn't have an accessory of a bag of chewing tobacco. It's like, okay, I guess the Lucky Strikes. I guess if you survived me hitting you, I guess it must have been a Lucky Strike. Smash. You know, so you see this.
Thank God.
Like I
There we
said
go.
last night, looking at the prop ashtray and prop cigarettes in my dashboard of the game, I said, my dog house, I said, boy, I really could use one of those right now.
Michelle, have you
yeah, that's awesome.
ever smoked, Michelle?
Yeah, I did in high school. I
even-
tried it.
Cigarettes. So. Okay.
I'm sorry, I just
Andrew
couldn't.
didn't hear that story.
I just can't
tell that
see
story real
I
quick,
could not
Michelle.
see what the big deal what smoking was. I was like, this is disgusting. My mom and dad smoked it. I lived in a house with chain smokers, and like, it's like cigarettes are like easy peasy to get. Okay, like we know where my mom and dad kept the cigarettes. I mean, if I wanted to, I could always swipe a pack, and they probably wouldn't give a shit. But I never did. But I just never. When I smoked my first cigarette, it was like, what is this crap? This doesn't even taste good. It tastes like crap. It tastes like garbage.
So Michelle was telling us a story one time on when she was in the boys' room at school, and she had a cigarette, and then she heard someone coming, so
And
she,
then on
she
the way
tried
to the
extinguish it.
cafeteria, I thought I extinguished it and put it in my shirt pocket.
Yeah, Michelle put it in her shirt pocket, and it wasn't extinguished, and she set herself on fire.
And then the housemaster said, "Your pocket's burning." What?
That's the way. That's the way.
You got a cigarette in there? Yeah. Yeah. Detention. Oh, fine. Of course, when
Michelle,
my
did you get
mom
in
saw the
trouble?
hole in my pocket in my shirt, there was more than detention. Tell you that.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, set herself on
That's what
fire.
I say. I mean, God, third degree burns, Michelle. I mean, I think I preferred attention before
Yeah.
getting burnt
Yeah, Michelle,
alive.
it's a good thing you're not a smoker because I'm sure your apartment would have been burned down years ago. Just you dropping a cigarette and just forgetting about it and just lighting another one.
Oh, if I was a smoker
Yeah, it's a
in
good
here,
thing you're not a
oh my
smoker.
God, I would have so much nicotine glaze and computers
Yeah.
and everything that this place would like I had to do with woman's computer when it broke. I just basically had to just drop the whole thing in the tip. I was like, forget it, I can't clean this thing. It's all full of nicotine crud. It's not even funny. She got
It just becomes a habit, Michelle. It's
she got
like one
nicotine
of,
glaze
it's like
and
anything
everything.
else.
The fans, the power supply, the motherboard.
See Dave's comment, Andrew.
Yeah, it was
Queen
just
just took a tumble.
no, I think she's got like a lot of diseases going on.
Oh.
They're trying to like say she had mobility issues or something, like she could move around.
Mhm.
But you can see she's had injections. Like the last picture they showed of her, which was a couple of days ago, her hands were basically purple.
Oh wow.
So
So she has a hematoma in her shoulder area.
I don't know, Michelle. I'm not there, but there's, as I said, breaking news now again. There's now another 7 members of the royal family have landed at Aberdeen Airport. So obviously, it's going to be bad news. If you're a royal, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, she's had a good innings. Let's be honest. But
Well, that's why reason I
but
don't.
Meghan Markle's also here, so she's actually in the city right now.
Both homeless Mike and Sherry when she comes over smoking here, and it's like awful. Yeah. I mean, cigarette butts everywhere. It's like, can't you probably dispose of your stuff when you're done with it?
Yeah, well, my neighbour, what she tends to do is she smokes in her kitchen, which because obviously she's got 2 kids and they're little boys, they're babies, and so she doesn't like to obviously expose them to the smoke, and I get that. But when you're in your own house by yourself, whatever, you know, you don't give a fuck, you know. It's like,
Right.
I'll smoke whatever, you know. The original plan was when I actually done up my living room, was I'm never smoking in that living room again. Never smoking in that living room again.
Dave,
What did
I don't
do?
know what soda crystal is. I know what caustic soda is.
Yeah, caustic soda is not something you really want to touch.
It's
You know,
like chlorine
or
bleach and a toilet brush.
charge it. Sorry, Michelle. Excuse me. Yeah, caustic soda will do the trick, but
Yeah, the
you've got to
same
be
is
really
true.
careful with it.
Scottish Dave, the same is true with the President of the United States, too.
Mm-hmm.
They can afford it. We can't. Us peons can't get a good doctor.
I wouldn't say it's just that. I think they do seem to have good genes anyway, because her mother lived to like 102 years old, and I mean she didn't die that long ago, really. When you think about it, and
Yeah.
Prince Charles is like 70, and he's going to be the new king.
Well, what about Queen Victoria? She didn't exactly die early either, despite her morbidly
No,
obesity. No. Same with her son, what was it, Edward? He also lived to be a pretty ripe old age too, and in this case in the 70s. Like his mother, he couldn't resist but going out and eating good and hunting, and but he was
Well, do you
kind of
remember when
active.
Ed had gout? Apparently, gout
Oh yes,
is
gout. He
a
had
disease.
gout. Oh yes,
Yeah. Well,
the
apparently,
disease of
gout
kings.
is an affliction of the good living, whatever you.
Mm-hmm. That's called the rich man's disease.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I know all about gout, having to live with a guy that has it.
Good living.
We still do live with them, Michelle.
Yeah, that's true. Michelle, you gotta get that sorted out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like anyone's telling you to do it, like say, "Oh, you must do this," but it's more of a concern, if that makes sense.
They have people who cook for them. They don't have to do anything. They're bred to mooch.
Yeah, they have no stress. Of course, they're gonna live long. I mean,
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
You know, they have nothing to worry about. They have no worries, no concerns. Sit and do their royal shit all day.
And you know who pays for it, Paul?
Everyone else.
Taxpayer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
On a slightly different note, but also still involves the UK. Liz Truss looks a lot like Patty. A few pictures of her looks like a splitting image of Patty.
Every time I hear the name Liz Truss, I think of this woman tied up in a basement with a gag on. I'm sorry, I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there. I don't think of this way normally, but I'm just...
So,
I'm sure she's a very nice person, but I just hope she stops providing money to Ukraine. I hope she stops money to Pakistan. I hope she starts thinking of the country first. None of this nonsense like saying,
right, oh, like Donald Trump would have said, we need to think of UK first. We need to think for our own selves because this isn't working for us to keep bailing every other country out.
Yeah.
So she probably says UK first.
Well, I don't think she's going to. I think she's going to be one of those. Oh, she's very liberal. She's very moderate. I mean, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I mean, because I said before, I'm personally somebody that believes in taking ideas from both left and right and using them together to actually work. Because I don't believe...
Right, that's why I believe it's
complete
the Purple
government can work. I don't believe a complete right-wing government can work either.
Well, that's what a moderate would do. A moderate looks at both sides of the thing and then makes a decision based on what ideas from both sides can make feasible sense to work together. And it's just
Well, it
like I
would be
gave
good.
with the
It would be good.
driving metaphor when you're driving a truck. You don't turn the wheel all one way and all of a sudden swerve it the other way and then hope to God you don't basically hit somebody. You know, you need
Yeah.
to try to keep the wheel steady when you're trying to go straight. Um, and that's exactly what has happened in this country. Is you got the wheel spun all one way to the right. All of a sudden, we're all of a sudden hitting guardrails. Then the next administration comes in, spins the wheel all the way to the left, and we start hitting pedestrians. So what's the
Christine
point?
is absolutely right about
Great
that, by the
analogy,
way.
Michelle. Great
Yeah.
analogy. Yeah.
Christine, you're absolutely correct about that. She was very anti-royal. She was going marches with her family to get rid of them, and now she's.
Tiger Kitty.
Hey, Tiger, how you doing?
Hey, doing?
No, I didn't. Dave, did Rangers win or Celtic? I don't know who was playing Ajax. No, it was Celtic, wasn't it? Ajax, not the cleaner. It's Ajax, a football team, guys. Just in case anyone is wondering.
Well, in a way, she's not too far from right. Thinking about the fact is that, well, you guys have a constitutional monarchy. There's some people who rather see the end of this royal part of the monarchy. The constitutional republic. But the thing is most people in the UK are not going to want to see the end of the king and queen because they would be like,
Well, I wouldn't miss them if that's what you're asking.
That's part of their whole identity. Just like it would be very hard to imagine a day if the United States ever decided to go into a constitutional monarchy instead, because everybody would be screaming, "But we only had a president." You're like, so
oh yeah, you did lose, right enough. Yeah, I'm looking. Sorry, Michelle, I'm just looking at football.
But actually, sometimes I think is that in some ways maybe America would be better if we did have a constitutional monarchy, as long as we got a good monarch that wasn't a total jerk.
I very much doubt Americans would accept that, to be honest. I don't think they would like the idea of a king and queen, and Joe Biden on top of it.
What happened here?
Well, actually, originally, prior to the Constitution being finalized, it was actually an idea that was thrown out there by the Constitutional Congress to see about having a monarchy, and George Washington was offered the position as king, and he said, "No, isn't that the kind of thing we try to get away from? This is not. I don't want to think a king would be a good idea." So that's why they created the presidential role instead. The president represents the people.
It would be very strange to see that, and a lot of people in this country that I would say it's 50-50. More so in England, they would prefer the monarchy, but up here, they're quite anti-monarchy.
Right.
Although a lot of our residences are up here, a lot of our castles are up here, and I have nothing against the women.
Right.
I just
also,
don't agree
there's a
with what they
portion
stand
of Scotland that would rather be independent from the UK, from England.
No, I wouldn't want that. Because I think if we do that, we've got to wait 8 years to get back into the EU at least, and we're at the mercy of Russia. So no.
One part of the UK I don't hear a lot about is Wales. I don't know how Wales feels about, the situation,
One of my good friends is from Wales, but England and Wales seem to always get lumped together. Like they always say England and Wales. They always say England and Wales. That's what the news always say. They lump them together every time when they sort of mention something, on the news. But Scotland's almost seen like a different country altogether. But it's not really. It's still part of the UK. So, in my opinion,
you guys seem to be more independently thinking. It's more independent group.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Even your own educational system is slightly different than that of Britain's.
Dunking.
You still have your
Tiger.
You still have your A levels. You still have your GCSEs. But you guys have different educational requirements.
Yeah, we did the GCSEs. I think when you're around 14, 15, A levels, you're a little bit older, and then you go to college or uni or whatever you want to do, or work, or just
Right.
get out of the school system altogether, which I actually did for. I think I mentioned to you before, how I actually ended up here, and it was because of an argument with my mum. And I thought, fuck you, and I walked out the door. Well, I said it as well. I got it back at the same time, like, but
Now, I don't know who Charlotte Church is. So,
she's like she's a singer. She used to do opera
okay.
singing.
Well,
Yeah, but
there's
then she
another
sort of,
famous
like,
singer that also came from there. Bonnie Tyler also came from Wales.
I think Welsh people are hilarious.
well, I know somebody from there, and he's actually quite a funny person. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I just think they have a different way about them. I don't know if that makes any sense. They just have like a
It does. No,
different way about them. Yeah,
Mhm,
there's just something about them. Like if they want to tell you to go straight, it's like, well, take a right, then take another right, then take another right. And you could have just told me to take a left. They're good people.
I remember when I was down in London, right? Not this previous time, but years ago, I think 2005, I took my mum to see David Bowie in concert.
Nice.
Right, because my mum was a huge Bowie fan, and we asked somewhere like how to get to a certain station, how to get a platform or something like that, and the woman was extremely obnoxious. And the first thing she says, "I don't mean to state the obvious, but have you ever actually looked at the timetable?" I thought, oh, mum was like, "Fuck you." I was like, "Mum, calm down, calm down, calm down."
Yeah, they definitely have a certain way about them.
Like, no, don't do it, Mum.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't. But it was an interesting experience to London. But I'd been in London before that. I seen what was it? It was in the 80s. I was a kid. I can't even remember. But this time around, I do remember it, and I did remember it. Sorry, and yeah, this woman, she was like Velma from Scooby Doo. Mum was calling her dyke and stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
Mum would just stop. You had to control my mother at times. Fat dyke, and I was like, "Mum, shut up."
Oh, yeah, I met that situation is pretty interesting. Of that basically the crown is going to be transferred from one person to another just right after you got a new prime minister. I think this is going to be.
Yeah, we now have Liz Truss, the woman that's gagged in a basement.
Um,
I hope the Queen burns in hell where she belongs.
John.
I agree, John. She probably will. They're very corrupt people. They have a lot of creepy things going throughout.
Yeah, and they
family.
also protected. Yeah, they protected molesters and stuff like that. So.
well, actually, don't forget autumn actually doesn't start until 21st, guys.
They all
Only into Melbourne. So just keep that in mind. So it's not even autumn yet. It's still at the edge of the periphery of the summer season.
Well, Michelle, it certainly feels like autumn here now. I mean, we've had constant
If you're
rain.
living in California, your summer has been a hot, grueling hot mess that basically will not end. In fact, it's so bad right now in California. Power companies doing level 3 power management, which means that they're pulling the fuses on people in blocks of houses, because people in California have said that they're not going to ration. Screw you. And the problem is,
So what are they going to do?
The state of California will not activate more nuclear reactors. They will not.
They just turn people's power off.
Yeah, probably.
A few hours a day.
Yeah, power cuts and stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's happened before. I think
Well, last time
I
I had
think it was either
before,
80s or
Pacific Gas and
70s. I
Electric was
don't.
cutting power during the forest fires because they didn't want to have their wiring sparking new fires. And
Okay.
that really pissed off everybody. But for
Mhm.
Pacific Gas and Electric, they said this is a safety reason. That was a couple of years ago during the forest fires that were getting out of control in the UK, in California. But the thing is there's a there is no reason why California, I mean, except for the drought, which is a problem because you still need cooling water for coal-fired power plants too, and there's not enough of it. All this so-called green new energy, like we talked about yesterday, is just not going to
Mhm.
be enough to provide power for the whole state of California.
No, well, I think that's one of the reasons why Liz Truss, okay, I'll take her seriously now, has announced fracking is to return,
Right.
because we need to have some sort of reliable source of like energy, one that we can control ourselves, not having to rely on Russia or
Right.
Germany or something like
And
that,
don't forget, you guys have a large amounts of coal deposits too, which you could easily use to make coal gas, which could also be filtered and distributed to the homes to supplement or replace the natural gas from other countries that you import.
Right. Well, I think the whole idea, Michelle, was unfortunately, they want to go for this net zero thing, this green energy push, and I just don't think it's sustainable. I really don't think it can work.
Right now they've been talking about a 2050 agenda. 2050 where it would be zero carbon emissions. Oh, gee, does that
I
mean
don't
you're
think
going to
that's
kill
going to happen.
everybody here on Earth too at the same time so that there's no carbon dioxide coming from people's breaths? People breathe, you know. Um,
Yeah, but it's more than that, though. It's not just that. I just don't think it's sustainable at all.
I don't think it's practical. I really don't. I mean, I'm not saying we should go back and be indiscriminately set burning down whole forests of trees for wood, for heat, or strip mining all the earth to get all the coal we can and burn and make acid rain kind of level. But I'm saying is people still need energy for the 21st century. And there's nothing
Yeah, of
wrong with
course we
having
do.
a mixed platform. You could certainly coal and, of course, nuclear coal or certainly should be an option, especially nuclear should be an option for some things. Like nighttime
Well,
when the
that's the
sun's
next
not
thing,
shining.
Michelle. I think nuclear is quite a clean. I've said before, a clean energy unless it's attacked like down in Ukraine. But it's a very clean system, if that makes sense. It's cleaner than a lot of people think, you
Right.
know.
But the reason
So if you,
why nuclear reactors right now probably won't work too good right now in California is that the drought. Remember, nuclear reactors have to cool those reactors to prevent meltdowns. So where are you going to
Mhm.
get the water? And so also the same is true. It's in coal plants to prevent
Well,
the.
can you not build a pipeline from the Pacific to the reactors?
Yeah, but I don't know if you really want to put salt water through a reactor because then that's going to corrode the pipes.
See, this is why I'm not a technician.
Um, I saw a brief picture of what Scottish Day looked like when he didn't have his mask on. He has dark hair. That's all I can tell you. Okay.
All right, okay. So
Um.
you've gotten first knowledge of this before any of us. Dave, just show your face. We all do it. We've all
Yeah.
done it here,
He
anyway.
did that mistake. He forgot to put the mask on. Then later covered the camera
Oh,
with his
right, because it was an
finger.
accident. Okay, okay.
Fukushima. What's
Nah,
going
I'm
on with
not, I'm
that
only
now?
joking. I would never
John
force somebody to
Heyman,
do something they don't
situation
want to
normal,
do.
all fouled up. They are still going to deal with all that hazardous waste. They still don't know what to do with it yet. They still have it sitting in garbage bags. Um, Yeah, that was definitely not
No
a good
such
thing.
thing.
But then again, why would look where Fukushima was built? There is a nuclear plant in California that was built just like Fukushima too. I think that one was shut down. Has a seawall around it. Um, but I'm not saying that nuclear is the holy grail, but I'm saying is something you need energy.
Everyone does, you
If
know.
you don't
Yeah.
want to, if you don't want to go back even back into the 1950s when everything was hand powered, you're gonna need energy.
So
I
that
mean,
you go back to the Stone Age or something, just like rub two sticks together. But I don't know. I mean, I think the way things are going just now, I think things will settle down. But I
let's
think
see.
you need to get rid of certain people in power. I mean, for example, obviously Joe Biden is not fit for purpose. That's clearly obvious. Um, I don't know. I don't know what else to say about it. Just about getting rid of people that really do care, and instead of people that don't care but say they do.
Yeah, that second category is Joe Biden.
Mm.
Or
I'm
what
nothing
he
against him
cares
on in
about
general, but
is
no, but he's not very good either.
clearly not the same thing that his constituents are concerned about.
Uh-huh.
You know, like I know you want to worry about supporting globalism and all that, but right now, individual American communities are saying we need help too. Why can't you give the money to us instead of going to other countries? We need the money to support
Exactly.
our own
Yeah.
people.
That's what I was saying now. Yeah, we're just throwing our money away to people, and it's like, well, if energy prices are going to go up this high, we need to sort of keep money back for ourselves, so we can survive our own selves. You know, it's like they call it a crisis time. Like, oh my God, there's a pandemic going on. There's this going on. There's that, but yet we're still throwing money away to foreign countries. I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
I'm
And don't
almost
paint
allowed to
a Hitler
dream.
moustache on me because I'm not that bad. Huh?
Well, that's one of the reasons I think that, like I said, Joe Biden's out of touch with the average American. I think Donald Trump was much closer to the average American because he had a little more understanding of what's going on. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I'm not saying that he was exactly
I'm
flawless
going to be
because he
honest with you, Michelle.
certainly
I'm not
wasn't.
a fan of Donald Trump myself. I'm not a fan of him, but I do understand people's frustrations. I like the. I've told you before. I like the Florida governor. I think he would be fantastic as president.
DeSantis, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, okay. So what does that what does that email username even mean? Malcam Sweets. Do you run a chocolate company or something, or a confectionery company?
Oh, right. Okay, chat. I don't know. Yeah, send Tiger an email, Dave.
Trump just knew how to twist the average American. No, the average
Yeah,
American felt
probably.
more trust in him because he's a. I mean, he had a way to reach out to the people, and he was speaking at their level that the average American could understand. Joe Biden doesn't do that. Yeah.
Okay, Michelle, this is the question that a lot of people are gonna probably have a lot of answers to, or maybe one or two. But why did he get elected? Why was he elected?
Because the election was rigged.
Why?
Exactly. Well,
Why did Biden get
that's the answer I
elected?
expect, to be fair.
Besides the fact that the upper crusty thought that Biden was a better candidate than Trump because he was more in their line of thinking,
Hmm.
whereas Donald Trump was a maverick and was kind of a surprise. And but
Yeah.
They
yeah, I know
also
what you're
don't
saying.
like the fact that he wasn't the buffoon they thought he was going to be.
No. Especially now when you see some of the things Joe Biden said and done, you know.
Yeah.
Now people are probably regretting even voting for this man, you know.
They should.
You know.
I think people are seriously
Just-
having voters' remorse after they voted for Biden. They said, "Oh shit, why did we vote for this guy?"
Well,
right,
I think
exactly.
things are obviously going to change. That's for sure. Once they get back
Well,
to the
I
polls in
strongly
the
don't
US,
think if Biden runs
no.
again that he's going to win a second term. That's for
No,
sure.
I can't see that happening at all. No.
So which means
I
instant
can't see that
success
happening.
for Donald Trump. Yeah, I think. Yes, I think Ron DeSantis will run. I think Donald Trump will also
I would
run.
like him. I would like him to actually run, and I think he'd be great. He doesn't believe in all this stuff that's being said by the mainstream and stuff like that. He just says it how it is, and I think he'd be good.
But the only thing I'm afraid is that they're going to do it's the Ron DeSantis one. I'm afraid they're going to do the same thing to him that they tried to do to Trump and turn him into a hatchet job. That's what I'm afraid. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Ron DeSantis is a racist. Ron DeSantis is a misogynist jerk. Ron DeSantis is this. Ron DeSantis is that. I don't see that happening any other way.
As far as
Because Democrats are going to sit there and try to rip him up too. I don't think Ron is
Bella update, guys. She is fine. She's lying next to me, annoying me, kicking me in the back.
Huh.
Anyway, let's move on. So she's absolutely fine.
That's good.
That's good.
Yeah, but she has to get sedated, as I said before. So she's got a rearranged appointment next week. So what I meant to do, I meant to open this capsule and put it onto her food. And hopefully she'll eat it. No, my luck, she won't even go near it for this one day.
You just gotta mix it in real good.
Yeah, I hope it works, though.
In wet food. I mean, I don't know if you're planning on putting it in dry food or wet food, but
well, they suggested, Paul, put it onto like treats. You know, like one of these cat treats you get. You know, like the sticks and the.
Yeah.
Do you guys get Dreamies over there? I didn't even.
What are they?
Dreamies.
Dreamies. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we have that cat treat. But what I would suggest to you, Andrew, if you really want the cat to eat medicine or whatever, I would suggest getting a little thing of baby food, put like chicken or something, and putting it in there, just mixing it in there. And you don't have to give her the whole thing of baby food, of course, but like, put a little bit of, put a bit of baby food in a dish and then mix it in with there.
Are you going to get her? Are you going to get her radical hysterectomy at the same time?
She's had that, Michelle. She had that. That was the only time she was ever at the vet, apart from getting her shots. So, yeah, she's had a hysterical rectum. She's had that done.
Okay, so she's all set. No kittens coming out of her.
No. Part of me wishes I sort of did let her have kittens, but even just to.
My experience with having kittens is it's a lot of work keeping after all those little kitties. I'll tell you that. You almost get as frantic as the mother cat herself, like, especially when the kittens get older, the equivalent of the age of a toddler, and those things are running into everything, and you're like, oh, geez, can you summons the link? I mean, can I post the link? Obviously. Yeah.
I've never done that before. Okay.
Of course I can.
Yeah, she's fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with her at all. Because she still flies about like a crazy thing, So eats fine, acts fine, but it's just this bloody lump on her back, and it's frustrating me. And I've got to wait another week, basically.
Go ahead, Tiger Kitty. How you doing?
Good morning, everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, Tiger, how you doing?
Good, thanks. Oh, just having my cup of tea. Yeah, no kittens. There's far too many kittens already at the shelters.
I think you might be right there, yeah.
Dogs, it's a bit different because there's a breed, and people like a certain breed, but although I think my next dog I might go to the shelter.
Oh, that was one thing that was actually doing pretty good for the shelters was the pandemic. People actually were adopting pets, because they felt they needed a companion. But then now what's going on? A lot of shelters are getting cats again because people are giving them up because they can't keep them.
Yeah, there's we have a thing called Nextdoor here. It's like a computer site for everyone in the neighborhood. They're all giving up their dogs and stuff. It's terrible because they can't afford to keep them. They can't afford their accommodation, so they're downsizing or something. And in the new place, they're not allowed dogs, so they're having to give them up.
But hasn't that always been a thing, though? You've always had these sort of sections of society that have taken on puppies or kittens or whatever it is, and they literally used to throw them in rivers. I don't know if it still happens to this day.
Yeah, I do remember about that. It was kind of sometimes
And they put it in a bag and stuff, and just
sometimes people would shoot them, or they would just throw them in a dumpster in a bag.
Yeah.
Disgusting. Well, our shelter, if it's pit bull or got any pit bull in it, they'll just put it down immediately.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I can sort of see where they're coming with that, but again, a dog is it's its owner that has the onus on, like, the animal type of thing.
Exactly.
You know?
I've had 3 Rottweilers now. Not one of them has been violent or biting or aggressive. You know, I can't just be that lucky. It's got to be the owner.
Absolutely. Absolutely is. I believe that 100%.
And I've had 8 puppies out of her one time.
I've had all those Dobermans as well, you know.
Oh, I love Dobermans.
And right now, like you said, it's a lot of times when people move out or they have to go to a new home, an apartment that doesn't allow pets, it really sucks for them because they love their pets too. You know.
The only dog I've ever been bitten by was a terrier. I think I've mentioned this before. It went right through my thumb. It was when I was delivering newspaper.
Yeah, I got bit by my next door's dog. It's a Shih Tzu. It bit me on the lip.
These things, they're the worst.
The little ones. I'm scared of them. Like, get away.
And it bloody hurt. And I was telling her, I was like, I'm waiting to see you. I'm waiting to see you. And you're obviously I didn't do that, but
mine was my fault because I kissed him. I was kissing him went to kiss him on the head. And I'd already
wrong move.
I was looking after him, so he knew me, and I was already holding him, cuddling him, and so I thought, oh, he's happy.
Yeah, we have no kill shelters here in Connecticut too. Problem is some of the shelters are very picky about who they adopt out to, just like they are with children. You know, like they want the animals to belong to the perfect home.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, and they always say nowadays adoption is probably the better option of buying, but some people do still like pure breeds.
Yeah, exactly. You know? That's why. I mean, this one is a rescue, but it's a pure Rottweiler, and it's from a friend who was breeding. Right. So I didn't go out and actually buy her.
Mm-hmm.
And the next one, I want a smaller dog. I'm getting older too. I mean, I got to think, another 10 years. They live about 10 years, Rottweilers.
Yeah, it looks like Tina. I mean, Tina.
I don't know who that person is. Who is Peppa Silva?
I tell you, who got a nice dog, a nice new dog, John Heyman. His new dog is adorable.
What's he got?
What kind is it, John? Well, where's Paul?
Yes, here.
What kind of dog is that?
He's been very
silent. I don't remember. But yeah, she's a nice dog.
Are you stoned?
Maybe.
Well, I don't know. I mostly have.
Is she a pit? Oh,
yeah.
There you go.
My family have mostly had cats.
About the Queen.
But we have had a couple of black labs. So, and the black labs are great big dogs.
I heard she wasn't very well. This morning, everyone's gathering around her bed.
Yeah,
I'm immensely unhappy about it. I don't care what anyone says. I grew up with the Queen. Now, I don't like all the royal family, but the Queen, she's beautiful.
Oh, have you met her?
She does a lot of good.
Have you
She's
met
a
her?
nice
Tiger?
person. No.
Oh, what has she done for you? Like, has she personally
She
like?
brings money into the country with everyone that wants to go and see the palace and everything. A lot of money.
But they also take a lot as well. How much is that crown worth again, Andrew?
A lot.
$6 billion.
Yeah.
That's from the past.
It's
right. Then she should let it go. Exactly. It's from the past. Like, who cares? Like, yeah.
We
like,
need it. That's and you know how many people come to see that crown and pay to get in?
It was $6 billion.
Do they get to touch it?
Section.
Of course
No,
not.
Like, do they get to touch it? Like, wear it on their
no.
head and pretend?
No,
Oh,
no.
do they get to do that? I mean,
That's the sort of thing I would be.
how would you pay to?
All right.
Like saying, "Hey guys, I got a new TV. I'll give you guys $5. You can come over and look at it." I mean,
Hide that one,
I'm
Michelle.
not going to turn it
Don't
on,
let
but
me
you can
say
just
that.
look at my TV. Yeah, I mean, what's the point of
Use
that?
this old bag. I'm hiding.
So Tiger, so if you ever do decide to come back, do you realise you're coming back to King Charles and Queen Camilla?
No, I'm not happy about that at all. I don't like him and I don't like her. I would rather it skipped them.
They can't do that though. That's unfortunate thing.
I'd rather it skip them.
Well, they can skip them if they choose.
Oh, okay.
I think he's had his eye on that throne for a long
Well, that
time.
bastard doesn't deserve it. I can't stand him.
And then the queen's gonna die, and then they're gonna have like a big ceremony, and then they're gonna have a ceremony to,
Which is gonna cost money.
The new king and
That's
queen.
right.
Yeah, it's gonna be
I
a
don't
long
know what
event.
else to say. Yeah.
Stop calling the queen a useless old bag.
Queen has
Not in my field.
and Queen is was a major part of the British Empire. Even today, people still recognize the royal family as being important.
Yes, I agree, Michelle. She's not your queen, she's our queen, so don't even worry about her.
Well, not your queen is Joe Biden.
That's not true. No.
It is.
No, I
So-
can't stand him.
So,
If
I
anything,
don't
I'd
think
rather
anyone else
Trump.
like him.
And regardless if you don't like him or not, you know that's your queen right now,
Well, he's on his way out.
Queen Joe.
I seriously wonder what it would be like if we did have a king or queen in the United States. If George Washington didn't
Michelle,
turn
you
down the
could take the position up.
proposition.
You could take the position. You know, just tell them you're the North American smoking, and you have already got previous experience. I mean, you're bound to get it.
Yeah, well, but I mean, the thing is that in some ways, I think as long as you got a good ruler on the throne, that at least it's not someone like Machiavelli, you probably could do fine. If you read The Prince, you know what I'm talking about.
I don't know.
I think Joe Biden is doing a lot of Machiavelli himself, honestly, and he's trying to manipulate people the way he is. But obviously, he read Machiavelli's The Prince, so he knows what Machiavelli was trying to say. But I think that if someone like me was to take the throne of the United States, I think there would be some differences I would make. Number one is I would tell the individual companies is, yes, you have the right to, go for oil and natural gas and stuff. That's fine. We should. But we should still continue into the green energy research. But we know that it's not practical to go into the Paris Accord again. That's why Trump originally got us out of the Paris Accord, and then Joe Biden, first thing he did was put us back into the Paris Accord. I would just say right out to the Paris Accord, people say, sorry, this is not sustainable for us to be part of this. I'm sorry, we must decline. We must leave.
Ricardo, I will not be doing that. I don't have anything with me actually. I've just got coffee, unfortunately.
I'm having tea.
You enjoying your cup of tea?
I am.
I'm enjoying my coffee, although there's like hardly any of it left, so I need to refill at some point. And I'm getting to the stage of dinner time, so
You are actually, yeah. What are you having?
I have no idea.
And the other thing I
One
would
of those.
do is I would actually encourage Congress to talk to the Federal Communications Commission and stop telling TV stations that they must go with digital TV reception. If some stations feel analog is better, they should keep the analog channels if they choose to. Doesn't have to go by the same guidelines everybody else says, effective radiating power, but if a station chooses to stay analog, they can stay analog. If they want to be digital, it can be digital. Let the station
Well, at least you're
determine
giving
it.
people the choice, I suppose.
Right, let the station have a choice. Don't force them into something that's not going to really help the viewership. Because when the station went to digital, a lot of people stopped watching television because they couldn't get any TV reception anymore.
To be honest, Michelle, a lot of people nowadays tend to use streaming services instead of the old sort of like,
Right, they already did.
BBC One, ITV, and stuff like
But
that.
they couldn't pick up anything with rapid ears anymore, which used to be free TV. They just said, fuck this. I'm going to go watch free TV on Pluto or on Tubi or one of the other free TV packages. And that's what they did.
Right.
But it still hurts the local TV station because
though,
they're not making any money anymore.
They still have free TV. You just get a digital antenna and you hook it up to your TV and you can get up to
you need a digital tuner more than a digital antenna.
Yeah.
Technically, the antenna is still the same as the original analog antenna. That's just
Right,
that
it's the
tuner of TV that makes a difference. And the problem is that most TVs say do have digital tuners. The problem is that the UHF signals, especially digital pulse-co modulated ones, are not able to go through certain situations.
Michelle, you can buy a digital antenna and get, like I said, 50 channels for free.
If you watch Antenna Man on YouTube, you would understand that the antenna itself is not anything special. It's just regular analog antenna, really. They just decided to put the word digital, make it sound like it's so great. Many of them are actually underpowered rabbit ears. So full-size roof antenna is still the best kind of antenna. It's analog or digital agnostic. It doesn't care. As long as it's tuned to the right signal, which is done by the WTV tuner, it's going to get a picture.
Michelle, do you have Netflix or Disney Plus or anything like that?
No, I don't.
Okay. That's the things I tend to watch. I want to watch a movie or something, but
yeah. But I got Pluto and Tubi and Crackle and a few others.
I think Pluto's quite straight. I find it quite hard to navigate because it's like it's what's on there. You don't get to choose what you want to watch. It's what's on at the time.
Right.
And I think people like to have that choice, But I understand what you're saying about the analog stuff, but I don't know. I think it's been such a long time that since we've had stuff like that. I think people have moved on,
Yeah. I got a website I can look up something on, and it has all the Netflix stuff, the Paramount Plus stuff.
Yeah, I have heard the preview. I never watched it though.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I usually use to watch something. Or if there's a show on TV, it'll be on that website.
I haven't watched analog TV in over 30 years. Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Because the problem with the standard over-the-air TV channels is most of the time the content's crap. It just doesn't resonate with me. I mean, the stuff that they have now was crap. That's my opinion.
My dad was quite anti-TV. He was quite anti-TV at all, in general. Even back, when I was young, he would always say "Nah, you're not watching TV," and it was stuff like that. And I don't know. Maybe that was just instilled into me. But I mean, I don't really watch a lot of TV personally. It's only if I want to see something, directly, and then I'll know how to find it, or hopefully I know how to find it, and then I'll watch it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I still think that the FCC getting involved and saying that TV channels that you must do digital or else Okay, first of all, I know that they wanted to have more frequency spectrum available originally for the cell phone industry and the expansion of the wireless communications, which I understand that. But mostly, I see that it doesn't matter if it was analog or digital. If you have, like, I mean, nowadays TV channels go through mostly UHF channels 14 to 40 right now is what they're using. Analog channels 14 through 40. So just like in the US, just like in the UK, has System A on the VHF dial. We don't really do so much with the VHF dial as much anymore. But the thing is, there's nothing wrong with having 36 channels for TV channels. And certain, in fact, most markets don't even have 36 channels in the first place. So what does it matter if they're analog or digital?
I still remember growing up, Michelle, with literally 5 channels, and that was it.
Yeah, so did we.
You know?
So did I.
You know, I can still remember it, and I think 1989 is when you got cable, and I was doing 6-year-old or something, and that's when it really started to sort of kick off, type of thing. But again, as I said before, my dad was quite anti-TV, and I was always saying well, a lot of us was, and my mother as well. We would say, "Oh, we want some extra TV." And it's like, nope, not happening. go outside and actually do something, you know.
Yeah.
I
don't know. I mean, for us, the closest thing we have to TV licenses, the fact is most people buy cable now. Cable TV packages.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, totally.
It doesn't go right to the BBC or to NBC or ABC or PBS. But it's still pretty much it's just like a TV license. I.e., you're paying a license to your cable company to receive reception from them.
Mm-hmm. Right, guys, I'm gonna head off. Michelle, thanks for having me up. I'm gonna.
Thank you. We're doing another good day, guys. What do you think about today's show? I think it's pretty good so far.
But I need something at least. Anyway.
I'm having a pork chop for mine later.
Oh, sounds good actually. I haven't got any pork.
I bought a big loin thing and I'm just hacking off chops off it and I'm going to freeze it.
The image I had in my mind.
It was cheaper than buying a tray of pork chops, like to buy the whole loin thing. So I thought, yeah, I'll do that.
Right, you guys take care.
Hi, Andrew.
Everyone else, Michelle. Thanks for
All right. So I'll talk to you later, Andrew.
No worries.
All right. Now, the thing I also would do is that something that Donald Trump did do was he repealed the light bulb ban. Because he said basically this is stupid. People are already going with LEDs anyway. Why are you trying to force them, tell them that they can't use incandescents if they want to pay the extra charge? And that makes sense. Like, okay, people started going to LEDs because they wanted to save money. Let the free market decide what kind of light bulbs you want in your light fixtures. And I agree with that. Although it wasn't specifically Trump that did that, but he definitely did hammer it into the skull of the congressmen. No more light bulb act. It's bullshit.
It is bullshit.
I mean, if you want to use incandescent light bulbs in the wintertime because you're saying you want your light, but you want your heat. After all, an incandescent light bulb is a heater too, right? What do you think they used to use in little easy bake ovens with a 100-watt light bulb? Because it could still get hot enough to bake a little cake.
You're not going to get much heat off a light bulb, are you? You're not going to heat your house.
No, you certainly didn't get no 100 watts of light out of it. Bullshit. You got more heat than anything. So, yeah, so anyway, it was funny with the truck driving. And then, of course, it's like, and I was saying to myself, when the hell did steering wheels actually change in cars? I mean, you got your American truck steering wheel that looks like the peace sign. That's what I have on my truck. And now you got the two with the grippers on the side and airbag in the center, and you're like, I understand with the airbag thing, but but I mean, why design the steering wheel like that? I don't. I mean, it's true in American Truck Simulator. Like, if you were really driving a real truck, you kind of would feel where the steering wheel is. Of course, when you're driving the game, you can't feel the steering wheel. Now, so you have to look on the screen, so I can always tell what was on the top because I see my little steering wheel when I'm going straight, like the little skinny pointer, and then the two fat ones on the on. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, it's so I was driving a rental truck in the game, and it was like it was a K100 cab, but it had the modern steering wheel. And I was like, holy Christ! I'm like, I was like being back at level 5, I was smashing and everything. I was like, oh, this is stupid. Finally, that is so fucked. I rushed it. I rushed it. That's totally stupid. So I rushed the order out to the customer, and then immediately I did the equivalent of the hailed a cab home back to my truck, and then I just went to, because it's like kind of like being back in friendly territory. Okay, now I know my steering wheel very well, so I started doing some more trips with my truck, which was like immensely easier to drive. Did the baby? I have no idea anything about that.
There's no baby, but he's being horrible. Don't be mean. She's an old lady in her 90s. What's wrong with these people?
I know. Leave Michelle alone. Come on, guys.
Just like Joe Biden's an old fart too, right? But the difference is Joe Biden's just not liked.
Oh wait, I'm sorry.
Whereas the Queen was liked by a lot of her subjects.
Back on the Queen.
Another thing I would love to see more companies offer in real life is American truck companies to offer more cab overs as an option. Kenworth still makes them for export, but they don't sell them to American truckers. Why? If you want to buy a modern K200 truck, well, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to buy it. I mean, there's not too many. There's a lot of need for private truckers. The problem is private truckers feel like they're getting the shaft. But right now, also, like Humphrey said, the problem is that the railroads can't get the stuff off the trains fast enough because there's not enough truckers to deliver the stuff to the final destinations. Well, then maybe truckers need to, make getting into a truck not so damn expensive.
I heard the Queen was just sucking stem cells out of fetuses.
Look, her health went downhill after her husband died. He died not long ago, so
you know what?
I think this is awfully sad.
I have seen that happen
from a broken heart.
I have seen that happen a lot of times where the widow or the widower, after the loss of their loved one, they just deteriorate.
Yeah.
I saw that happen with when
still a human being, everybody. A human being.
It's not just a human thing either, because I've seen it also in animals too, like animals that have been together for a long time. Take for example Fluffy, when she died around 2011. Fame the cat, which was her mate, started to go downhill too. Because he missed his girlfriend cat so much.
Dying of a broken heart.
Yeah.
Well, I hope she doesn't, because I'll have to get all my flags out and I'll probably cry. Yeah. I don't want this to happen.
Well, I mean, she's 96 years old as well. I mean, that's got to play a bit of a part in it.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
she's still pretty
it's
good for
bound to
96
happen,
years
you know.
old.
Bound to happen.
I mean, she was very quite competent at 96, doing a good job. You know, I can't say the same thing about Joe Biden at 80 something years old. He's not doing a good job at all.
Well, he's lost his marbles.
Yeah.
He's lost the brain.
Well, she didn't. I mean,
she's still sharp as a whip.
She's still smart. She's still quite competent mentally, but
Yeah.
physically now it's starting to catch up with her.
Well, I mean, in a way, then she can join her husband if she passes, I suppose.
So unfortunately, she's not going to be able to give herself a 100th birthday celebration letter. I wonder what she would write to herself. Dear Your Majesty, congratulations. You have successfully lived to be 100 years old.
Happens. You know, like it's really not that big
Signed,
of a deal.
Your
Like, again,
Majesty.
what have you done for any of us? Who cares? You don't give a fuck about you or your bills, Tiger Kitty. You know?
Yes, she does.
Oh, is she paying them?
Of course she's not.
She doesn't know herself.
Exactly. She doesn't care about you. Like if you could look at her and say, "Hey, Queen," oh hi, good to see you. I don't know who you are. I mean, like you know, you don't need to put.
Look, I was brought up with the Queen. You haven't been brought up.
Oh, she raised you.
No, with her in my life. So it's different.
Oh, I get it. But I mean, you know, I get it.
I mean, who do you lot respect in America?
Nobody, to be honest.
There you go.
I wouldn't be sad at. I mean, but that would be the same thing.
There you go. That's true. Tiger Kitty. The sad truth is, most Americans don't respect anybody in America.
No. Not Michelle. Not you. I don't respect any of you.
I still stand behind Donald Trump. I think he's probably the closest thing that I would say a large majority of Americans respected. It's him and Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
If Craig Sr. passed, I'd be pretty upset, Tiger Kitty.
Yeah.
Well, I would as well.
I'd be pretty upset.
Craig. I just see him in chat.
John Heyman, you know, it'd be kind of a sad loss. You know, Gianni's a nice guy. I mean, but I wouldn't like, you know, I don't know. Hail to the Queen, you know, makes you go on to a better place if she's not feeling well, you know.
It's
a good thing.
She's done a lot of good. She's also...
The way I see it is when she passes away, this is going to be the end of an era.
Yeah, you're right.
It's going to be the end of an era. I think for a lot of people in the world will see it as the end. Because look what's going on right now. This is definitely like we are in the final days of the modern era after World War II. Because remember, she was not a queen in World War II. She was queen afterwards, 1955.
What kind of effect will this have on the world, Michelle?
Her coronation was the first on television.
Michelle, what type of effect will this have on the world?
England will be in mourning. We'll probably get a day off.
England will be mourning. A lot of the Commonwealth will be in mourning. A lot of Americans who supported the royal family will be in mourning. I probably will be one of them, because I do believe in the Queen. I do believe that she represents something very important. The pillar that we all looked up to as providing, even if she was just a figurehead on the prow of a ship, she still represented something very important to a lot of people, the stability. Just as Queen Victoria also represented something great about the British Empire at the time she passed away when her son, King Edward, took over the throne. She represented the greatness that England had at the time of her passing. Sure, she was fat as a house, and she basically ate to no end. But her son Edward did also.
Yeah, well, fair enough.
But it was also, when she passed away, that was also the end of a very important time in the world's history. With the development of the steam engine, the development of electricity came in when she passed away. It was under King Edward. We saw more electricity being the standard in homes, and gaslighting was pretty much going away. Kind of like most people don't even look at corsets anymore. But that's the truth. That's the truth. When you look at it, history, you know, these people represent a time, a changing of the guard, which I'm sorry,
and
but
also, like, you got to remember, I've known her all my life. She's been in my life all my life in some way or another, on the TV.
Actually, same with me.
Cambridge once. I've like grew up with her, so it's like losing somebody.
Yeah, but you don't know her though. I mean, you know of her, but you don't know her. Like if she saw your picture today, she wouldn't say, "Oh, that's Tiger Kitty."
Well, remember, Paul. When I was born, she had already been a monarch for 14 years. Okay.
I'm really not trying to be an asshole here, but like,
so when she was crowned in 1954, number one, as I said, it was the beginning of the first coronation to be covered on television. Second of all, is that she already had been ruling Britain at 14 years old when I was born in 1968.
That's great and all, Michelle. She has some accomplishments, and I'm not taking that away from the woman at all. But again, what has she done for you guys? Like to be such a big impact and effect in your life? That what has she done for you guys?
She represented stability. Stability.
Yeah, yeah. It's hard to explain. You don't know because you haven't been brought up with her.
Fair enough. Well, that's what I'm trying to understand.
Paul,
that's all. I'm not trying to be an asshole again.
I'm just trying to understand. America would have, because America in some ways doesn't have anything like this. It would be like if you don't have anything like this. I really wish we could explain it. But
Michelle, you're not even from the UK. What's your concern? You have no ties to the UK what so goddamn ever. What are you even concerned for? What do you mean?
What in the United States?
You have no ties to the UK.
What in the United States?
What are you talking about?
Represents the stability of the people of the United States. What represents the stability of this country?
JFK. Didn't everyone like JFK when he got assassinated? Didn't the whole country go into mourning? And you hadn't met him.
Right.
The only one I would say that was closest, the only one I would say that was closest to the level of the Queen would be Franklin Delano Roosevelt, because he served 2.5 terms in office. Okay, he was well liked. He did a lot of programs for American people at the time of the Great Depression and World War II. He was there, and his wife Eleanor was going out and doing a lot of things that First Ladies today would never do, like jumping into foxholes and talking to American troops in the battlefield. That was the closest thing that we had to a figure, a political person or even non-political person that we would say we all looked up to in this country. I mean, who was he going to look up to? Like Michael Jackson? Maybe. Prince? Maybe. AC/DC? I don't know. I mean, the point is that there was a stability that came in the FDR years, which we do not see anymore in this country. I wonder how FDR would deal with half the stuff that's going on today if he was still alive. Or one of his grandsons or granddaughters decided to run and said, I'm going to give it this try with this like Grandpa did. I wonder how they would do. There are so many things that right now that we need stability. We need that stability, the Rock of Gibraltar. We don't have it now. It's like we're floating around in a canoe and there's no oars.
Your own self-being should be stability. You shouldn't need stability from another person. See, that's the problem right there. You should have self-stability. Why should you even depend upon another person?
I don't depend on her. I just think she's a wonderful person.
Well, for some people, Paul, for some people, Paul, that does make a difference. I mean, I know what you're saying. I get it.
Sure. It's a terrible way to live. I'd hate to.
But you gotta look at it from.
Proud of your country. I'm proud of my country, so that's why I have a.
Yeah, you're in the USA. You should be proud of it.
I have a huge flagpole in my garden with an English flag flapping about. I have an American one on it too.
I mean, your country now is the USA, so I mean, yeah, you should definitely be proud of your country.
Well, no, it's not my country. My country's so you say, Johnny, you're American. Then you're not even. Italian.
It's where you live. It's your country.
I mean,
Oh my God! If I move to Pakistan, does that make me a Pakistani?
I'm sorry. I support.
You live there. You move there. Yeah.
It is true. I do not have it. I do not have a Union Jack flag, but I do support
You're gonna start hating me.
I do support the UK.
Even more.
So, that's to me, the UK is special to me. I can't quite explain why, but it is.
I don't get it. Yeah, you have no ties there. Your family's not from there. I don't get what the obsession with the UK
Well,
is.
we don't know about that because actually my family may
Your
very
name's
well have some
Delaney. You're
British ties in
Italian.
here.
We do know about that. You're an Italian person. I've done your ancestry tree, Michelle. There's no ties to the UK.
There is some ties to the UK. Yes, there is.
Whatsoever. No ties whatsoever. Because you eat Marmite and you like tea?
If you look at the name Delaney, which is
Italian.
Italian pronunciation of the name Dalene, which means a valley dweller, there was the
valley in Italy.
Nordic. There's the Nordic influence of the UK.
Not the UK.
Where some of my adopted grandfather's relatives came from.
I don't believe that.
See, my grandfather's last name was Mullenstadt. Now, Mullenstadt is a German name, okay? Hermann Mullenstadt, okay? He basically lived in northern Germany, but he was adopted by the Dalene family, which has both British and Norwegian and, of course, some Germanic history as well. So, therefore, that's how we get this crazy heritage. And then we also have Italian in our family too. So
that sounds made up.
I did my blood and I came out Irish actually. More Irish. Actually, I've got English, but more Irish percentage than English.
Okay.
You should do your DNA, Michelle.
I could.
Tell you everything. It's great. It tells you where you're from. It gives you maps. It's about $70.
$70, yeah.
Nope.
Let's see. It might have gone down now.
Well, actually, I don't know if I want to brag about that on the internet. Look what Elizabeth Warren did when she said, "Oh, I have a Native American history," and then the blood work come back and says, "Oops."
Yeah, I was shocked.
Nope.
I did two. I did Ancestry and another one. I found my dad doing my DNA about 4 years ago. He's dead, but that's how I found him. The Ancestry site found my auntie.
Yeah, that's from the Church of Latter-day Saints. The Mormons,
Did the results come out the same for both sites?
Didn't find him on the other site. No, I don't know.
I meant from your background. Did the results come out the same?
Yeah.
More Irish and
yeah, that all came out the same. But
gotcha.
Yeah, there you go.
Ancestry.com is more successful, guys. Use that one.
Yeah, use that one. I was more successful at that. I also did a health one with them.
Mm-hmm.
So it tells you if you're more prone to get some cancers and something. But I was okay with that. It's $59 now.
Oh, it's gone down a bit.
Yeah.
It
gives you a whole tree and everything you'll be surprised. I've got hundreds of people on there related to me some way or another. Distant related.
How do you know that there's not? How do you know I'm not distantly related to you somehow?
I don't. You'll have to put your DNA in.
Well, we could do that. Well, anyway, it's something to consider when I have extra money to throw around, which I don't. I don't think that's uncommon for anybody. It is right now. The budgets are really tight worldwide. They said Joe Biden did shit for America. He's still doing shit for America today. He gives our tax money to foreign countries and he doesn't even help his own people out. In some ways, he is definitely worse than Marie Antoinette ever was.
Well, you guys voted for him. Not you, Michelle, but...
I didn't vote for him.
No, I don't mean everybody. I mean Americans voted for him.
Yeah. Right, mitochondrial DNA, but the fatherless is sort of a guess. Yeah, well, that makes sense.
It found
he
party.
did kind of
He
originally, because everybody said that Donald Trump was really bad. So he kind of got basically promoted into doing some propaganda, which the Biden administration kind of encouraged, saying that Donald Trump was a racist, misogynist pig. Well, guess what? This guy is even worse. He's a lazy, good-for-nothing freak.
Well, it found my dad. It didn't find him because he didn't have his DNA in it, but his sister, my auntie, had her DNA in it. And it came back like your grandmother or somebody really close is here. It was something like that. So I messaged her, and then we found out it was her brother who was dead. It was my dad.
Yeah.
So
American. He was American.
So how does this work? Do I just come in an envelope and send it to him? Like, how do I send him my DNA?
You wipe a thing around your mouth, like a cotton bud thing, and then send it off.
It's kind of like what they do with
it. All right, figure it out.
I suppose that would work.
It's kind of like the COVID self-test. Except the difference is then after you do the sterile swab in your mouth, you put it into a vial, and then you mail it back to them, and then they do the sampling. That's how it works.
I'm gonna swab my neighbor's dog's mouth and just send it in, and then see what kind of results.
You might, joking wise, you might be, but they actually do it for dogs and cats too. You can actually find out about the ancestry of your cat or dog.
Yeah, that's $100. I was going to do the dog, but I know she's a fucking Rottweiler, so I don't need to really.
So you can find out, like,
there's a thing on there that you can choose whether you want to share your DNA. I chose I do, so I shared mine with like a police site, because, like, say there's a mass killer, a murderer killing people and related to me, I think they should go to jail. So I'm not planning on killing people.
That's for you to be going to jail. Like if like they find your DNA somewhere.
Well, they've already got everything in mind because when I came into the country, I had to have eye scans, fingerprints, and everything else. So
fair enough.
Which brings up another topic. I'm not going to get into too long because it's too long right now. Let's talk about junk DNA. They say the paternal DNA has a lot of junk DNA. Where does that junk DNA come from?
The penis, Michelle. You're saying junk, like your junk?
Yeah, they call it junk DNA because it doesn't seem, the sequences don't seem to really associate with anything.
Open up your dumpster, baby, because I got some junk DNA for you. Yeah. All right. I'm going to start calling it junk DNA, Michelle. That's cool. I'm going to start using that.
Like everybody said, mitochondrial DNA in a mother is easier to map than the paternal DNA material for some reason. That's true.
Junk DNA in your hair. Go wash that out. Junk DNA. That's fair. All right. Sounds kind of crude, but I'm going to try it.
You know what? That's what they had to use on during the World Trade Center was hair samples. Because people from, people getting hair samples from the brushes of the loved ones and then sending those into the police so they could match up what was left of their bodies with the DNA from their hair and nails and whatever the people sent into the lab. But then it's just a simple, mismatching of one level. It's not like going back and say, okay, well, let's go back and look at all the mitochondrial DNA from the last 20 generations. No, it was just like, is this person a person's body that I'm looking at? It was a little different because a lot of the people were burned beyond recognition. Dental records weren't really going to help in some cases.
Some people clone their animals now with DNA, don't they? Is that how they do it?
Some do. Then they are expensive.
Yeah. And how is that going to be the same as the last? Like, if I clone this dog, It's not going to have the same. Will it have the same brain? It won't have the same memories, will it?
It'd just be brand new.
I don't know. That's a good question because, again, there we go to nature versus nurture again. It would be interesting for medical research to take, say, this has been done with children, with identical twin children, where they would raise the two identical twins in different environments and see how they fare, or how they differ, or how they're the same. Some things that definitely are nature, and some of the differences were clearly nurture. They don't do this as much anymore, but they used to do this a lot, back in the 50s and 60s and 70s. But I wonder, like, in the case of myself, is, how would, if there was another Michelle, if I had a twin sister,
God.
which would be interesting. I really would love to see what would my twin sister be like. If I had a twin sister, how would she differ from me? What would she be doing? What kinds of stuff would you be doing?